Have you heard the one about the nurse and the real estate developer?
That is no joke. I'm telling you that right now.
Hi, Pepper. Welcome back.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so why are we so wrong? What are these myths?
Okay, well, let me give you a couple, and let's see how the two of you feel, and then we can talk about it.
Right.
Is it possible, do you think, that people meet the one, that you've met the one, the mate of your life?
That you know it?
That you know it when you first see this person?
I think it is. Yeah, I do.
I have to agree. I do. Maybe I'm a pathetic romantic, but I really do think it's possible to know that that's the one.
Well, you know what I think.
This is going to be us against her.
You know, what you do is people don't ignore the times that they were wrong. You know, so that when it's right, I knew it. But they don't code the wrong one. Plus the fact, you know, the people who tell the stories are the ones who survived it, as opposed to the people who tell the war stories, which they don't, about, God, I knew it was it. The dangerous part here is that if you think it's the one, you may stop asking the kind of questions to dissuade yourself. So,
I see. Well, it's also true that there are sometimes, I know that when my parents tell part of our family lore, and my parents are still very happily married, when they first met, they were like, about each other. They thought, oh, but I'm convinced that there is some little spark that goes off, and in a way, that reaction is so intense because you've really met someone who just really floats your boat.
Would you please read this chapter?
I guess I better.
Let's do another one. Okay. How do each of you feel about the idea of having sex on the very first date?
How do each of us, and we must state this on the air and live.
Okay. Maybe as a thing for other people to do, you know, in terms of how good that would be or bad that would be for the rest of that.
Don, I'll let you go first on this
thank you very much. That's so generous of you. I don't think that it's necessarily a bad thing to go. Everybody's going, oh, okay, typical.
Because he's a guy.
Right.
Okay.
But I don't think it necessarily means that that's all the relationship is going to be. That it doesn't mean that it can lead to something better and deeper. If you have this strong chemistry with this person, what I don't believe is good in a relationship is for people to play any kind of game. To say, oh, I'm not going to follow through on this because I don't want him to think badly of me. I think people should just be honest with each other. And if they feel inclined to go that way, then they should go that way.
Okay, now I've been out of the dating game for a long time, except that I really think I'm backed up on this, is that I think it's a bad idea. I think that why not say that? Because you really can't possibly know the person enough, and I think the emotions there are really a cool part of having sex. So I think, and I would say the women who wrote the rules would agree with me, and the guys we had on here.
No, don't even quote the rules.
Don't even quote the rules. Okay, but the guys we had on here who wrote what men want said they would, they'd have sex with a woman on the first date, but they're not going to have a serious relationship with her. That's what they said here on our show.
The generalizations are the danger here, though, as with anything like this.
Okay, but aren't you the person who just said in the previous myth, you'll know when you meet the one? Yeah, okay.
But I want him to know, too.
Okay, fair enough. All I'm saying is that, you know, if you take a look at the data, a lot of women met the man they married, and when they met him, they slept with him the first night. So that there's a lot of relationships, I'm going to go here with him, that actually they act on intuition, they act on strong attraction, and that doesn't mean he won't call you the next day. Plus the fact, if he doesn't call you the next day, great, shorty, you got him out of the way. Okay, third one. What do both of you feel about the idea that you have to finish an argument before you go to bed, that you can't go to bed angry?
I don't mind going to bed angry, but my husband refuses to go to bed angry. So I'm sort of stuck in this. I go along with that.
Okay.
I actually disagree with that. I think that it is a bad idea to go to bed angry, even though I know you might not be able to resolve everything before you go to sleep. I know my grandparents had that rule, and they would always try to at least.
Grandparent kind of rule.
It is, but what they would try to do is they would not try to resolve it, but what they try to do is get to some basis of this relationship, our love for each other transcends any problem that we're going through, and we do love each other, and we're going to set this aside. And I do think that they accomplish that a lot, and I envy that. I don't know if it's possible.
Well, so what do you think, Pepper?
Well, I think the data undeniably shows that you should go to bed angry, that you shouldn't handle it when you're angry, that you're much more likely to say things you don't mean. You're much likely to say things you do mean, but you can't take back. There's a lot of information that your physiology is simply your heart's beating, your pulse is pumping. You're not the person you want to be when you try and solve something.
So in a way, you should absolutely go to bed.
That's right. You should save it.
What if it's the first date?
You should have sex.
It's always allowed.
And then it will resolve everything.
Do not put these myths together.
Let me just say it will be the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat for each of us today, probably. I'm Diane Sawyer. I'm here in Riverside Park, New York, live with Don Daler, where the great battle of the sexes in the extreme sport, the street luge, is going to take place in a moment. And Jack, I want you to know, lest you think there's inequality here, I have my inscribed helmet And Don also has his inscribed helmet, and I have my
Custom
delightfully
leathers.
custom leather monogrammed, and so does Don. I mean, the duct tape is really
Isn't that, you know, if this is any
idea.
mark of my career, I've already gone downhill.
I said, Jack, the best thing about these suits is the